Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. I've got a special unboxing, and it's kind of special to me anyway. This is a game that I've eyed for many, many years. In fact, this game, still in the shrink, by the way. I finally got it at a price that I thought was reasonable from off of eBay. And does it have a date back here? I don't think so. Yeah, there's a copyright right there, 1985. This is from West End Games. It is a Star Trek game, the adventure game. I've read about it. It gets pretty good reviews for what it does, and I've always wanted a copy. And like I said, when I finally saw one appear on eBay for a reasonable price, I jumped all over it, especially considering it is sealed in the box. And I'm pretty sure this is not someone's attempt to reseal a box that was already open. We'll be able to tell once we get inside, which we will do here shortly. So interesting on this side. I'm holding it at an angle like this so that the light doesn't reflect off of it and ruin the shot. So actually, let's go ahead and pull the shrink off, and I will do that off camera so as to not blind anyone watching this. Because like I said, these lights in here, when you're video recording, get rather bright and reflective. All right, that is it for the shrink. So let's go back to the back of this thing. And the thing that stands out that's kind of funny to me, interesting for sure, the complexity scale is rated from a 1 to a 3, with the highest rating being 3, Dungeons and Dragons, the lowest rating, Trivial Pursuit, the number 2 middle rating, Monopoly, and Star Trek. Now, I don't know what the "and Star Trek" means there, unless they mean there was a Star Trek Monopoly game at one point, I believe. Maybe that's what they're referring to. I don't know, but that's I mean, I don't put a lot of faith in any of these complexity scales anyway, but that one is quite hilarious in my mind. Dungeons and Dragons complexity. Okay, so well, I guess what they're saying with the Star Trek is this game is Monopoly complex, if you will. For 2 players, up to 2 hours of play, it's ideal for solitaire play. And I don't know, is there a solitaire? I was looking to see if there's something that said there's actually a solitaire rules in here, but this being 1985, probably not. Whatever we're going to find is going to be in the rule book, which we'll also take a look at. The game design is Greg Kostakayan. And I don't recognize that name. Not that that means anything negative, I just don't recognize the name offhand. Now, one thing that stands out, I just noticed this. One of my favorite Star Trek novels from the 1980s was a novel called Blackfire. And if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, I believe this cover, or the cover of this game is the same cover that was on Blackfire. And if you have not read Blackfire, like I said, that's one of my favorite original series Star Trek novels. I thought it was really good. Some people don't like it because of what happens in it, but I thought it was a really unique idea, and I thought it was well written and entertaining for a Star Trek story. And my view of the Star Trek universe is probably different than everybody else's, but there you go. All right, so let's get the lid out of the way. Actually, let's put it up here so we can see Spock. There you go. We get 2 little Ziploc bags, and I probably won't use those. We get 2 D6. And these look like 1985 D6 to me, just plain white D6s. And then here's our counter sheets. Nope, looks like, and looking at this already, it has never been opened. I can tell that just from the way that things are in here, and nothing looks like it's been touched at all. So this is the counters that come in the game. And I see, looks like I see the original crew. I see, yep, there's the 5 original crew members. I'm going to hold this up as I talk so we can see it together. And I don't know who this is on the end. Banaloo, DeLuca, Fox Ferris, Eagle Star, and Rodriguez. So this looks like your Federation crew. Down here, of course, your Klingons. And it looks like I do recognize Koloth and Kor. I don't see Kang, which is odd, but there you go. Planet markers over here, and they do look a little 60s-ish to me, but maybe that's fitting for the original series theme. Some interesting planet color choices there. There's the Enterprise, there's the Ares, the Beijing, and the Surak, and the Klingon ships are down here, the Swift Victory. And it looks like some warbirds there. I guess they're not warbirds, but maybe that's what they are. And there's maybe a star base. Yeah, there's some star bases too. And it looks like there are counters to mark whether these planets fall under. If you can get them to fall under UFP, well, no, I was going to say, I think the idea of this game is to try to get the planets to flip to your side, and I thought that was the markers I'm looking at. Well, it is down here, UFP member. So yes, these will, and then there's the Klingon satellite, so that will mark the planets that become a member of the Federation or of the Klingon Empire. And there's a little bit of information on the backs of these things. So there you go, not much to the counters at all. One idea I had with this game is maybe an idea I'm entertaining is running a Star Trek solo RPG and recording that and using this perhaps as a exploration type thing in conjunction with just that. This is a Federation display. And here, these are your ships. I'm assuming your crew or something or other will go in there. There's landing parties, reputation track. So that's interesting. Here's the rule book. Now this is a hefty rule book. A total of 57. So there's 59, 60 pages. And I'm looking at this in the back already, and it looks like this reminds me of maybe a John Butterfield type game because I'm seeing paragraphs, numbered paragraphs, and I've got a feeling that you're going to be instructed to turn to a particular paragraph based on the choices you make and read what happens. So I like that. That's going to be entertaining. So it's a very narrative-driven game. And if it holds true to the Star Trek original series lore, I'm going to like that a whole lot. And so this being the paragraph book, this is not the rule book. So not a chunky rule book yet. This is simply the paragraph book. So that is a positive sign for a narrative game. Neutral display. This looks like a player's aid card. There's some informational stuff on here, and you're keeping your turn track over here, and just some abbreviations. And now we're getting down to well, before we hit this, this is the Klingon display, which we had the Federation version of that with the Enterprise and everything. So there's the Swift Victory and those other Klingon ships and their landing parties. And this is the rule book. So just the opposite. This is a very short rule book, 8 pages. And this paper has not, even though it was sealed in the box, you can see that it has started yellowing around the outside edges. Not a good sign. I've actually got an older Star Trek Task Force game that has really started to yellow over time. I'm just going to take a quick look through. It's not a color rule book. It's black and white, plain old paper. Some nice shots of the original series cast there. And looks very, very rules light, which is good. Like I said, I may use this to do an RPG with. We'll wait and see. You'll have to let me know you're interested in seeing something like that. I've got an idea for running a couple of Star Trek RPGs since I'm so down on the current new, quote, Star Trek stuff that's on TV and in the theaters, which I do not consider Star Trek, but we won't have that discussion here, maybe at some point. So this is actually a mounted map board. And like those counters, it's very colorful, but it's not that bad. So the Federation is down here in this corner. The Klingon Empire, of course, would be up here. And if you're like me and you're used to the Starfleet universe, the Task Force games, Amarillo Design Bureau, Starfleet Battles stuff, this kind of implies to me that the Tholians might be down off this way somewhere. No, I don't think that's even right either. No, this wouldn't work for that, for the Starfleet universe, I don't think. There's Organia. So we all know about the Organia peace treaty. And I think that's what this game is based on. So basically, this is right after the Organians have put the clamp down on the war between the Federation and the Klingons and said, no, you're not going to fight each other. And so the Federation and the Klingons are trying to now take over these worlds with purely through diplomacy and no military action, I think. So the map is small. It's just a thick cardboard map, but it is mounted. I like that. And that is it. I think we're about to hit the bottom of this. Let me try to fold this back up without destroying it. And now we go into a West End Games Spring 1987 catalog. Complexity and suitability. Under each title of the game, you'll get colored boxes. They're really worried about complexity with these games, and solitaire suitability, which this is interesting. Back in 87, that they would be concerned about solitaire play, but nice to see that. So the red box says the game's solitaire suitability is from 1, difficult to play solitaire, to 5, which is strictly a solitaire, and an N denotes that it is impossible to play the game solitaire. Now, I don't believe that. I mean, we'll look at the titles when we get in here, see if we can find an N, but I having a hard time imagining there's a game you can't come up with a way to play solitaire. Blue boxes are complexity. 1 is simple and 6 is complex. And we'll just look through this because I think there are some actual war games in here. And I'm seeing Tank Leader over here. Here's South Mountain, yeah, Battle of Shiloh, and Chickamauga. And look at those prices. $16.95, $12.95. I'd buy all those right now if I could. But I don't think I can. I'm just looking to see also if I own any of these. I don't think I do. We're just going down memory lane here, so bear with me. Against the Reich. No, I don't think I have Against the Reich. And looking at the solitaire suitability, I don't see any that are ends yet. So let's flip this thing over. There's an N. Oh, here's a bunch of ends. You can't play any of these solitaire. The Price of Freedom and the Price of Freedom Game Master Pack. Your Own Private Idaho. Ghostbusters. And this one, of course, is Star Trek, the adventure game. Now, it did mention that there were, here we go, Star Trek 3 solitaire games in one. Kobayashi Maru, the Sherwood Syndrome, and Free Enterprise. So I was going to say, I think that this adventure game actually had another module after it that was a combat game that went with this. And I believe you could buy this Star Trek adventure game with that combat module as a combo kit. But I'm not seeing that here, unless that is this. No, it is not. So there you go. Just a quick unboxing of something unusual that I finally was able to purchase. And I look forward to trying this. Like I said, I've been waiting to play this one for a while, and I'm really interested to see how it plays. And I know this is something that wargamers may not be interested in, but I think there's probably enough people that are interested in war games and other games than war games, and even role-playing games and science fiction games. So if you would like to see a playthrough of this one, let me know in the comments down below. If you don't want to see a playthrough of it, let me know that as well. And I will do it if there's enough interest. If not, I will just probably do this on my own and see how it works. All right, thank you for watching. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. And as always, I will see you back here next time. Thank you for watching.